Okay, well, Rocky's just had a nap. It was pouring rain out there. It stopped now, but we came in because it was really pouring rain. Um, you, how are ya? Anyway, oh, pardon me. Anyway, laying here, of course, with the rain pouring down, listening to that and stuff. I find it makes me kind of pensive, I guess. I get to thinking, that's really pretty out there. Even blurry like that, it's pretty, but maybe it'll focus too. That'd be also nice. There we go. That's nice. It's focused now. Good backdrop for what I'm going to talk about. Um, I guess what I want to talk about today is I've noticed, of course, I'm a believer in God, so my beliefs are more Christian oriented. And I'm not a great Christian. I've got a lot of issues around my practice of Christianity for sure. I'm not going to pretend that I'm some sort of a I don't know, some sort of a great Christian because I'm really not. But still, my core beliefs are Christian. And so I don't really go along with a lot of the occult type stuff that I see happening now. I notice there's an awful lot of it now. And especially, I've noticed, I know a lot of women who are into it in a big way. They're into, witchcraft, and they're into um, all kinds of occult practices, consuming, um, what would you say? Consuming hallucinogenic type drugs and having visions and interpreting them and, you know, worshiping nature. Appreciating nature is good. Worshiping it is a whole different thing, though. Manifestation, which is the thing I want to talk about, really. Crystals, all kinds of stuff like that. Um, what I can tell you about all that stuff is that in some cases it does appear to work. And this is how they get deceived because they see it working in some cases and it causes them to really believe in it. But here's the thing, sometimes the devil will allow you a certain amount of levity or whatever in order to lead you down the garden path. And that's what that is. When those practices work, that's really what's happening. They're working because you're being led down the garden path so you can go even deeper into that place where you have no business being. And I can tell you with my own experience, and believe me, I have a lot of experience with trying and failing. I do. I've tried and I failed many times. But see, the reason I've tried and I failed many times is because I've tried many times. It's just that I failed too. And of course, now I'm on this thing where I want to start this business up again that I failed at before. Now, I failed at it before because I fell in with con artists, basically, and I got taken advantage of. But my work itself was good, and I had jobs lined up when all that happened, and I lost that business. So and now I'm rebuilding. I'm trying to get back on my feet, and it's tough because everything goes away a lot quicker than it comes back. It's funny. I had a female friend, who I fell out with this year. Actually, she sent me kind of a long message there. I wanted to become my spiritual advisor, and she's into all this hallucinogenics and visions and manifestation and all that stuff, which I want no part of, and I told her that, and ultimately we're no longer friends. But here's the thing, though, with all of that, um, what I've noticed is that yes, I can sit here and I can think about getting my little Japanese mini truck and going to work and having a good business and, doing good, honest work and getting paid a good, honest wage for it and building something. I can actually sit here and think about doing that. I can sit here all day and think about doing it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, when I go to bed, I'm no better off on those days than I am when I got up in the morning. You see, the days that I'm better off, in the sense that I'm closer to achieving my goal, are the days that I actually go out and do something. And on those days, I actually go to bed better off than I was when I went to sleep. Than I was when I woke up. Than I was when I went to sleep. Yeah, than I was when I woke up. Kind of stumbling over my words a bit here. Anyway, here's the thing. When I go out and I do a day's work, and the people are happy with my work, and they pay me. There's my Rocky. There he is. And they pay me for my work. A couple of things happen. I have a potential then to get word of mouth recommendations from those people to get more work. And that has happened. I have gotten more work based on the work I'd already done. So that's more opportunities to work and to earn. And also more opportunities for more word of mouth recommendations if the people in that situation are also happy with my work. And but what I do is I take my wages and I add them to what I've already earned, and I count that all up, and then I see how much closer I am to my goal than I was 6 months ago or a year ago or whatever. And that gives me a lot of encouragement to carry on, And so that's the thing, the days that I get up out of here and I do something, those are the days that I end up better off. The days I just think about it, I really don't end up better off. It's like, look, in high school, there are a lot of guys fantasizing about dating the pretty girl. But do you know who actually dates the pretty girl? The guy who asked her out. Now, not all guys that ask her out will get to date her. There's going to be guys who get rejected. There's going to be guys, she's just going to look at them and say, like, really? No, I don't think so, but thank you anyway. And that's not very nice. That's pretty tough. It's starting to rain again. That's not a very nice experience. And, you got to kind of open yourself up to that. You have to take a chance just for possibly an opportunity. But I can tell you, the guy who she does date, he took that same chance and he won. Now, there may be a couple dozen guys fantasizing that have never bothered to even try. And they'll never be with that girl. You see. My case, I asked them out. I got knocked back all the time. It never really worked out very well for me. But the thing is, I tried. And I mean, these days, I'm not pursuing relationships with women, really, because I've discovered that it just doesn't work out very well generally. And I've had 55 years for it to work out well, and it hasn't. So I figure it may be that that's just not for me, and I need to focus on something that I can win at. And the other thing is, too, with a relationship, if you're a man and you're getting into a relationship with a woman can bring a lot of good things, yes, but she also brings liabilities. And you got to be in a position to deal with those liabilities. In order to reap the good, you got to be in a position to deal with the bad. Right now, I'm not in a position to deal with the bad, and therefore can't expect to reap any good anyway. So, bottom line is, though, I'm moving forward. I've tried different things and failed at them, but I keep trying. And that's kind of how you have to be. You got to keep trying. And, this business of manifesting and all that, just thinking things into existence and all that stuff, the only way that really works is that your fantasies may cause you to act. You may say, boy, it felt pretty good to think about that. I wonder what would happen if I actually did it. And then you may put a plan in motion, and you may start to actually act on that plan, and then you just might succeed. and you might actually get the thing you're after. But here's the thing. Yeah, that's a really pretty view there. But here's the thing. If you're going to succeed, then you have to at least pursue. That's the key. You have to pursue these things. And like I say, the days that I go out and do some work and get paid, those are the days that I get closer to my goal. The days that I sit and think about it, no, I don't get any closer to my goal on those days. And so that's the key, is you have to be prepared to do the hard work. You have to be prepared to take the risk. You have to be prepared for the fact that you may get knocked back, you may fail, you may get rejected. I've experienced all of that stuff over and over again, but I keep trying. And the thing is, it's kind of a circle you get into where you keep trying, and at some point I will succeed, because I'm not going to stop until I do. Either I'm going to keep trying until they put me in the ground, or I'm going to keep trying until I succeed. And once I succeed, I'm going to keep trying to continue to succeed. Because the effort doesn't stop once you succeed. Actually, in fact, the real work begins when you succeed. You're in high school and you asked a pretty girl out, and she says yes. That's when the real work starts. You can be happy for the victory. You can say, right on, I'm going to go out with the pretty girl. But if you want to keep going out with the pretty girl, that's just the start of the work. And really, that's nothing compared to what's coming. So you have to be prepared to be in a position to be worthy of that. To be worthy of that girl, so you can keep her. The same is true when you're building anything, a relationship, a business, anything else. You have to be able to you have to try to achieve it, and then you have to maintain it. And all of that is work. So, manifesting something, well, you can think about it all day long. It's not going to happen until you work at it. And as far as taking mind-altering substances and things like that go, well, the Bible condemns that. And I know some people who even claim to be Christian, and they engage in these practices because they're ignorant of the fact. And when I say ignorant, I mean without knowledge. I don't mean it in the way it may sound when I say that. It just simply means without knowledge. They're ignorant of what the scriptures actually say in relation to pharmakia. And, those kinds of practices using cannabis and mushrooms and things like that, that is the practice of pharmakia. And the scripture condemns that. Christian scripture condemns that anyway. Anyway, that's the bottom line. Don't just think about it, do it. Don't rely on horoscopes and soothsayers and seances and all the rest of it, and visions that you get when you're high on mushrooms. All that stuff. Don't rely on that. Rely on God first, and rely on yourself second. Because in this world, those are the only two things you can truly count on. And, put your back into it. Do the work that's required. When I go out and I work for a day, and I come back here with my pay, and I add my pay to what I've already earned, and I see how much closer I am to my goal because I've done that. And I know that the people I worked with are really happy with my work, that they're standing in their yard looking at what I did, and they're just shaking their heads and they're saying, right on. Yeah, this is good. I like this. That makes me feel really good. Anyway, I'll be tired, but it's a good tired. It's like when I was a kid, there was a show called The Waltons. And on the Waltons, it was set back in the 30s and 40s, this show was, and it was about a family that lived in West Virginia on a mountain and all that. And it was based on a true family, based on a family that actually did exist. That was the oldest son actually wrote novels about his childhood, and that got turned into a television series. But the old grandpa on there, at the end of the day, he used to sit on the porch, and he'd watch the sun setting, and he'd be talking to his grandkids, and he would say, "I'm awful tired, but it's a good tired." And I never forgot that anyway, and that's what I often say at the end of a day's work. I'm awful tired, but it's a good tired. And believe me, I've had lots of days where I was awful tired and it wasn't a good tired, and I know the difference. And I think most of you listening to me can relate to that. Probably all of you can. Because this world beats us all up in different ways. But at the end of a day of work, what you have is a good kind of a tired. Anyway, because you know too, that you're closer to your goals, or that you're at least maintaining what you've got. You're not letting what you got slip through your fingers. You're working and you're maintaining it. Anyway, that's all for now. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. As you can see, it started to rain again out there. Still looks really pretty though. So that's all right. Into every life a little rain must fall, and that's what we're having right now anyway. All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.